Okay, is this working? You guys hear me? Awesome. All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Brooke Waller, and I'm a co-founder of OnPrio, a personal productivity app. And we believe that attention is your most valuable currency. Oh. But the problem is we're all trying to manage our time instead, and we're failing. Because you can't manage time. It's a constant. It doesn't change. You can only manage your attention and what you put your focus on. But our attention is scattered because there's too much clutter. Digital clutter has become a real problem today. We have a lot of desktop clutter. We have email notifications, social notifications, and it's distracting us from doing our most meaningful work. So what's the solution? We have to clear out that clutter. We have to establish our priorities, and we need to work with focus on the things we care about most. Okay, guys, imagine your journal and your task list and your calendar all shacked up together to procreate an awesome productivity baby that we're calling OnPrio. And it's destined to be the most mindful way that you plan your day. And here's how it works. It all starts here on a just right journaling screen. It's an interface that takes over your entire screen. It disrupts your desktop, silencing all distraction. No email notifications, no files. It gives you a clear interface to start journaling your thoughts for the day. And journaling is powerful. I want to take you guys behind the scenes and actually share a real journal entry, word for word, no changes, from my husband and co-founder, Matthew. He starts his day this way every day, and it's the normal data dump, just getting your thoughts out, clearing your mind. But what happens when in that journaling exercise, a task comes up? How do you make that actionable? Well, within the OnPrio platform, you can now highlight your text, select a prioritization category, assign a time allotment, and tag it by project. And now your everyday notes can turn into an action item that manifests themselves into a holistic day view, where there's only one central focus at a time, so you're not distracted. But what is all this information without actionable insights? We live in a day and an age where we're addicted to data and analytics and self-optimization. So we're going to give our users a week-over-week reflection where they can see how much time did I spend in meetings or on my highest priorities. Our current calendar is not telling us this. They're not telling us how much you spent doing your most meaningful work. And this information will help us optimize and change the way we behave the next time we sit down to journal and plan our day. And the time is right. There are two insights that validate the market need for this. 40% of the US working population is going to be freelancers by 2020. Why freelancers and entrepreneurs? This is our early adopter audience. They have the most autonomy over their time, but they need structure to fulfill their vision. And the enterprise solutions aren't cut out for their psychographic makeup. On the other side, self-improvement is becoming a technological affair. People are looking to apps to help them with productivity. So when we synthesize these two things together, we see a real need and market demand for OnPrio. The competitive landscape is rich, with a lot of wonderful productivity apps. We've taken the best from each to make a holistic solution, and we also want to play with some of our favorites. You can sign in with Google Calendar and sync with Asana, Slack, and Trello. And we're offering two pricing models. The first is a basic model for $28 a year that allows you the just right journaling platform, the day planning calendar view, some basic analytics, and then you can move up to premium from there, where you can have more enhanced analytics, more syncing with other apps, and also invoicing. It's a feature that we know freelancers use and they pay for. We're going to launch in March 2017 with 500 users, and with a 5% week-over-week growth, we will have acquired 168,000 users by the end of 2018 with $4.8 million in sales revenue. And the team that's going to make this happen is myself and two other key counterparts. I've been working in advertising for 10 years. I know what it takes to differentiate a product from its competitors. And I know how to write a great go-to-market strategy. Tim, our business development lead, is an amazing salesperson, and he has a social cachet and following that is enviable. He knows what it takes to acquire users. And Matthew, our co-founder, is a visionary user interface specialist, having worked on autonomous car development and other tech startup interface design. And he is the vision behind this brand. Thank you, guys. We're looking for development partners and technical advisors to bring this to life for a March 2017 launch. Oh, wrong button. Thank you for your attention. Okay.
Yeah, so I'll just kind of start out. Would you mind quickly walking through why the launch date's so far pushed out and kind of what you plan on doing between then and now?
Yeah, go back to the roadmap here. So, I mean, there's no secret, going back to the team, we have brand strategy and user interface design down pat. We need time to develop the product, so we have most of the interfaces done, almost wires that we can hand off to a technical advisor or to a developer, but we need to build in time for that, for iteration. So we have a couple key sprints. And right now we're starting to build up our beta users, and we're working up to 100 by November, so that in November we can continue to iterate and then launch with 500 by March. So we need the time for continued development.
Are any of you guys full-time on this?
Matthew
I've been
is.
full-time on this throughout the incubator period.
Okay.
I'm also a freelance designer, so I do pull in some freelance projects to help pay
Nice.
the bills, but this is my prime endeavor.
And then, so what, in regards to this actual, size of the market is you have people that are journaling, and you have people who are, that kind of want to do better, but then you're going to have them. It seems it's all based around journaling, right? Isn't that the source of the productivity that's gained in this?
Yeah, so I'll say we basically wanted to connect these services that in a way that hadn't been connected before. So we felt there was this gap between
Can I,
just journaling my thoughts and then
Yeah.
creating a to-do list from that.
I was just curious, what sort of validation have you done that people are actually interested in doing that sort of behavior, and actually whether they're doing it now, what percentage of people are doing that, and then are they willing to actually start doing that?
We have sent out a survey, not to freelancers, but actually just to people, because, I mean, I'm not going to lie, everyone we talk to, I don't want to say 100%, digital clutter is a problem. So just that feature alone, clearing it out and being able to journal, whether you did anything else, everyone wants. I think it was 7 out of 10 people felt that it was enough of a problem that they would be willing to pay from a survey we launched. We want to increase that sample size, so we have a few of our friends distributing it out to a larger group. But there's some things to quantify here. So 60 million, if you were to look at the freelancer population, is there. But then how do you quantify people that are mindful and the wellness movement? That's very hard. But if we wanted to play it safe, we could say, we believe 60 million people could use this app, if you're looking for a number.
That's based on freelancers?
Just freelancers. And that's if every freelancer fit the psychographic. And then there's also the psychographic model of wellness people, mindful people that may not be freelancers. So we'd be looking to, that's the next target, to figure out how large is that group.
Digital freelancers?
Just freelancers. I think when you have enough autonomy over your time where you're not a slave to your desk and someone else's meetings, this is where the tool becomes powerful.
I brought something up to Ryan once when we met about a company called 17 Hats that does a million of these things, but it looks and feels like every other tool that's out there. They charge a lot more money than what you are. And then I pay, I think it's $20 a month for FreshBooks, which is my favorite invoicing software. And that's double the price of your premium product. So how did you guys come to the conclusion that $120 a year makes sense? It's actually cheap.
That's what we thought too. So that's sort of the bonus. We think we're offering a lot of value, and just the bonus is we're also cheaper. So.
We were comparing it to Harvest as well with enterprise examples, and I felt like it was competitive but not undervalued. And the $28 value we're comparing similar to, if you guys like Ulysses, is $50 a year, and it doesn't offer other features. So if anything, you're right, maybe we could increase the price.
Okay. And then the 500 users that you're starting off with, where do they come from?
So the 100 beta users that we're working on now, we will launch a word of mouth, bring in your friends campaign within the November window and the March window. So we'll basically do some pro bono marketing towards that to incentivize them.
I'm curious how, so first of all, I have Evernote, Todoist, Trello, Slack, and a handful of others. And I think that, I'm curious how you're going to get productivity nerds, which I am, off of their, folks who are into productivity spend a lot of time honing their workflow,
Yeah.
right? And not all productivity people are journalers. Some
Right.
are, right? So I think you need to look at how many are journalers, because that seems like it's central to the experience. But then I'm curious, how are you going to interrupt
Yeah.
folks who are very committed and have curated their workflow of how they get things done, because you're going after those early adopters to try to get them to try a new product?
I think that's great. I mean, I think as part of the syncing in with those other ones, that will build the credibility to do with Slack and to do with Trello and Asana. Those are very project and team oriented. They're not personal. So from a marketing positioning standpoint, this is for you. So even if you're in Asana with your team, you see my tasks in the big ecosphere of everybody else's on the big project. But we want to be able to convert those tasks now. You can personally prioritize them. You can personally get your own data on them and integrate that. So if you think of it as your mission versus the system I'm working with everyone else, I don't think it'll feel excessive or like I got to overhaul and change my system.
Sure. I hear you, and I think that's true. I think.
Yeah.
So just one point of advice is I'd really focus in on folks who are not. I think freelancers is way too big, because there's a million different ways folks organize and don't organize their work.
Yeah.
But it seems like your real target market, at least the way you're explaining it, is someone who already has that sort of journal mindset mentality and prioritization, and is already trying to keep the clutter at bay. You're not going to make people who tolerate clutter all of a sudden not like clutter,
Yeah.
I don't think. So, I mean, I think you're on the right track, but I think you need to pivot your addressable market to figuring out who those journalers are
Right.
that are trying to do task management.
Yeah. Time. Sorry. We'll be out there.